Not all that glitters is gold, and not all gold necessarily brings a luxurious and happy life. Some hells are made of pure gold, just as happened to Midas. Midas lived as the king of Phrygia, enjoying a life of prosperity under a vast sky, surrounded by fields heavy with ripe fruit gleaming under the sun, and treasuries overflowing with gold and jewels. Does a human desire more than that? Yes, indeed, so much more. Days pass, and the moon continues its orbits around the earth. Then, destiny decrees that Midas perform a favor for Dionysus, the god of pleasure. This happens when wine conquers Silenus, Dionysus's mentor, leaving him wandering drunk and lost among Midas's rose fields. Some of the king's shepherds find him passed out and bring him to Midas. Rather than scolding him, Midas treats him with immense hospitality for 10 days, even taking him personally on the 11th day to Dionysus. Dionysus was overjoyed and offered to grant Midas any wish he desired. Midas did not hesitate. He instantly chose that whatever he touched would turn to gold. Oh, what greed! Dionysus tried to dissuade him, making it clear that his decision was wrong and fraught with immense danger. Yet greed gained the upper hand, leaving Dionysus with no choice but to grant Midas's wish. Filled with joy, he began touching everything around him, feeling overwhelmed with bliss as he watched the trees and roses turn into gold. At sunset, Midas felt a bit of fatigue and hunger, so he entered his palace and sat at his table. But when he tried to take a bite of bread, it turned into gold. Here, Midas realized the gravity of his mistake and remembered Dionysus's warning, sitting in fear and contemplation. When the night grows dark, we remember the moon. He thought of the most cherished thing to him, his daughter, and longed to see her and hold her close to ease the burden of that living hell. Slowly, her breathing faded. Gradually, the warmth of her tender hand melted away. Her soft cheeks hardened, and the breath of life completely departed her. The world turned black, and grief cast its heavy shadow as Midas realized he was holding a statue of gold. There, surrounded by a colossal golden fortune, Midas sat alone, and the glitter of gold no longer meant anything to him. But there is always a second chance. Midas wept and begged the gods to take all the glitter of gold from the world, if only they would restore his child's breath. Moved by his sincere tears, he was commanded to wash his hands in the waters of the river Pactolus. The curse was lifted, his daughter returned to life, and the gates of the golden hell were closed forever. In the end, the story of Midas, beyond being a legend, is almost the story of every single one of us. Gold is wonderful, but it is not everything in life, and we too possess so much more than we think.